Alright, let's get this rolling. More Kerbal Space Program. More career mode. Mo better. So. What are we gonna do today? Need to actually brain. What are we gonna do today? Well, a couple things in mind. Just want to see. I haven't unlocked advanced flight control yet. That's just dandy. Don't need it just yet. Might have actually been intelligent about this. Hard to believe. Docking? Yeah. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, shoot. Thought I had this external tank unlocked. We could figure something else out. Okay. Let's see. Got a bit of a crazy idea today. Let's see what I have that could go towards making it happen. Let's get rolling with my crazy idea for just a second. Probably not something I'm going to launch right away. So I did want those small tanks to apply to the side. How heavy is 0.2 tons for a Science Junior? How heavy is a lander can? Well, I don't have a lander can, so what's the nearest thing to it? This 0.7, this is 0.2, and that is 0.1, so 0.3. So yeah, not heavy enough to represent an actual lander can. This idea might be sunk. Good. Now, if we were really doing this, need an antenna. Need battery. Solar panels. Okay, yep, like that. So let's just see how much delta V would a craft like this have? So our mass, 1.45 tons. We would have to add an extra 0.5. So yeah, it'd be like 2 tons for a lander. Math time. All masts start. 2 tons. Bingo. This is a 60 thrust. The tank is 45 units of fuel. Fuel mass 0.49. Fuel consumption per second 1.596. So that would not be a capable lander. It does support my theory of needing the extra tanks on the side, so let's just see. So one of my ideas was to maybe test a moon launch vehicle and a moon lander in concept while we wait to unlock other parts and get some science while we're at it. 0.6, that's pretty close anyway. And here, what's this have? Amount of fuel 24.3, mass 0.12. So if I multiply that by 4, plus 0.15, so 0.27. There's 4 of those tanks. So this would become a 3.08 ton launch vehicle. Fuel would be 1.57 of that. Fuel units would be 142.2. And then the total mass 0.3038. Oh, I was supposed to change that. Did I get it right? 0.3038. Close. For some reason I put the decimal in the wrong place. So equals that times 4. 3.215. Now that would have some delta V. And our little separators, wherever they might be, this guy, are 0.025 tons each. So we get a little more dead mass in there. Yeah, see, that's looking much more achievable. So my original design is pretty spot on by the looks of it. Probably a little overkill, actually. Probably get away with doing maybe 2 of those side tanks. But the point is, I need the tanks to do it. I don't have that unlocked, and I wasn't planning on doing this one for the moon mission. So that's going to be a problem. To figure out something else to do. To change up the fuel design. Teensy bit derpy, but that maybe work a little better. 0.9. Yeah, something like that might actually work. I'll mill that over. I'll figure that out later then. I thought this was going to be an easy thing to try and figure out right now, and it is not. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to check how we're situated for retrying that Colnea orbit. Desert site. Ooh. Ha ha ha. Oh, this does show you the direction of the intended orbit. Wow, I'm dumb. So we pretty much just have to head polar if we launch from the desert right now. Like right this second. So I better hurry up. Now's my chance to redeem myself for my stupidity last night. Alright. Hydraulic detachment manifold splashdown and Kerman. Don't know what that even is. We'll come back to that in a second. Okay, it needs to have the mystery goo. It needs to have the other thing. Okay, well, where the heck is my rocket for that? There we go. Colneasat. There we go. There's our launcher. And we want to launch from the desert launch site so we can get our window correct. This will be a good contract if I can get this one done. So last time we got our orbit almost perfect for this and we were just heading in the wrong direction. So the opposite of perfect. The exact opposite of perfect. We need to change our staging. So that should fall off. That should go. Then we should fire the engine. Then we should drop the staging. Then we should separate in that engine. Okay, cool. So we're going to want to go up this 315 degree line. So we want to go north. That 315 degree line is our ideal, it looks like. So we're going to ride out the solids going perfectly straight. Just turn a little bit. Rotate so we can head perfectly left. So left up the 315 degree line. Oh, I did that dumb. Well, the gimbal still works. gonna try and make the most of the gimbal to aim the other way, but it seems to be working fine. Okay, just wait till we fall back down, and there we go. Now we have the gimbal control we need to keep going straight. And we're heading... No, I'm dumb. Should be heading this way. I like Gooford. Because we're doing a retrograde orbit. That'd be the line if I was trying to do a prograde orbit, which is... Actually, no, it wouldn't be the line. I'm just being dumb, completely. Wow, and why is that such a high apogee? I kind of screwed that one up a little bit. Kind of a lot of it. But we're just gonna have to go with it and correct the ascending node later, I guess. I don't know what exactly I thought I was launching here. Then I did that really weird skid. I'm just going to need to level that out as much as possible. So aiming slightly down. Alright, get rid of that booster. Deploy our antennas. This one might actually be recoverable. We did drive a much higher apogee and at a slightly different angle than what I intended. But apparently I have trouble making sense of launch trajectories other than equatorial. So we need to do this whole thing. No, we don't. Be more efficient, I think. Okay, so we'll have a little bit of correction there. Oop, kill thrust. Stage into the engine. Could have definitely done this a lot more efficiently, at the very least. Even if I do manage to pull this one off. 12-second burn. I'm gonna want to wait till 6 seconds. 6 seconds from our burn. correction. Went too much. Do you want this to be exact? Because then we have a follow-up maneuver right after it. So 17 seconds from here. Nope. So right there where I should have been burning. It's fine. Still within range. Bar burn. So we're now actually finally in an orbit. Summit this way down for just a second. Now we just want the right orbit. There's summon it back up. 18-second burn. Coming up in 7 minutes. That one should be the one we need to get our apogee at the correct height. Although, if we're going to be doing an inclination change, what I then need to know is how high am I going to raise my apogee just doing that? Quite a bit. Okay, so what we'll need to do in the previous maneuver, a little less oomph out of it. A little too much. There we go. That should do nicely. Okay. So next 2 burns are planned. From that point, we can lower our perigee back to where it belongs. Alright, next 3 burns are planned. This could have been done with just a few quick burns, but I was not really paying proper attention to what I was doing. Between driving the crazy apogee that I didn't want and going slightly in the wrong direction by about 45 degrees. It's basically a very eccentric polar orbit that they're having me target. Not quite polar. So we're gonna wait till 9 seconds before burn. Do our 18-second burn. Our other burns are more modest, so we don't run out of fuel. very cautious about my burn now. Yep, next burn is right here. Thrust limitus. Make this a 4-second burn. 5-second. 4-second burn. There we go. So now 2 seconds in the burn. We'll do it. This actually should be a somewhat efficient inclination change. Being at the, so close to the para apps. And then if this goes well, all we'll have to do is shrink our perigee, and we'll have our desired orbit. This one might just barely have enough fuel, if not be ever so slightly short. It's gonna be tight. Not helping things by doing these slight inaccuracies here. There we go. Kill that node. Now the final node. What's the verdict? It seems to think we'll have enough fuel. Okay. Hallelujah. So despite that horribly managed launch, we might just have our orbit after all. Fast forward into that one. Seven, 6. Okay. Relatively fast time warp here. Now as we reach the apogee, we're going to slow way down with this kind of orbit. Turn the thrust limiter way down so we can actually precisely make this maneuver. And then we'll check to see if we get our contract out of this. If not, we'll make some minor adjustments. That was a very hairy takeoff there. That was very poorly done. Just glad that I seem to have recovered this fully. Oh, this is kind of hard to do from right here, isn't it? There we go. We're heading the correct direction this time. Perigee seems pretty dead on to me. In 5,000 meters. Ascending nodes at 0, descending nodes at 0 degrees. Just trying to still say I don't have the desired orbit. That is really unbelievable. That is a very tight mirror of that orbit. I don't understand how we're saying that that's not ideal. Unless it really is just that level of precision in the contract because it needs to be that exact. There it is. Now we got it. Yes, it really did need to be that precise. That explains the difficulty of the contract in terms of funds and everything else. So we got our satellite. We got our Colnia satellite, finally. Any good science to be had? Nope, not particularly. But that's just fine. We'll let them do whatever they want to do with those two things as part of their satellite they purchased from us. So, yes, we did get the Colnia orbit. That was a hefty contract. That was some very great stuff. We got a rescue Tom Fred from orbit. Turned to low Kerbin orbit. Why does that give us a ridiculous amount of prestige and money? I don't know what that's all about. Hydraulic detachment manifold. Oh, I know what that is. Okay. Splash down at Kerbin. This one will be a really quick test. I'll do that in a second. I just want to go over this Colnia set here. Just look at what I really got out of it. Nope, not that one. This one. Yeah, wow, we got 228,000 funds for that one, plus 24 reputation and 10 science. So that is a really good contract. Stack separator in flight. This is another one of those high altitude tests. I don't like that. I don't like high altitude, low speed. Doesn't work for me. I thought we had a full house here on our astronaut complex. We do. So yeah, rescue mission's not going to give us any Kerman. So yeah, I'm going to say no to that. Not rescuing Kerman we can't keep. Then let's see. Have a decent amount of funds. We can go do that that quick hydraulic tester. Let's open Diver 3. No, we don't want Diver 3. We want Diver 1. Nope. Diver 4, maybe? Diver 5? Diver 5, good enough. Take all the science off of this. Don't care about the science. Don't need the separator anymore. Don't really want the separator either, come to think of it. Get rid of that. Shorten that up. Antenna right here. The parachute right here. Move these down as far as humanly possible. Should do. Now, we just need the hydraulic separator. Hydraulic attachment manifold. I knew this thing would come in handy again. Diver 5. Modified Diver 5. Water science. About time. Nope, staging check. Should go like that. Nope, up. Noted. So I took the extra length off of it. Apparently that made it a little less stable. So we'll have to actually up the thrust. Can we go back to the vehicle assembly building? Thank you. That's fine. It's only a 5,000 credit rocket. Basically just a sounding rocket. There we go, that should do. Not even a sounding rocket, it's basically a cruise missile. Fix staging again. That's better. Yep, a little extra thrust did the trick. Although it is losing altitude, it looks like. Are you losing altitude? That's weird. There you go. There you go, buddy. Looks like an ICBM. It definitely doesn't look like an ICBM. ICBMs look like actual missiles, or actual rockets. Like the Atlas V, that's an ICBM. The R7, that's an ICBM. That like the bottom of the Soyuz. But this looks like a cruise missile. That's probably what you're thinking of. This has odd amounts of good flight characteristics, so it's actually staying very steady. So when we get a little closer to the surface, we can basically fly this thing. Ooh. Of course, I had to go and mess with it. Yeah, the funny thing with ICBMs is, like the good majority of early rockets, and a lot of rockets that are used today to go to space, started their lives as ICBMs. Like I said, the base of the Soyuz, the R-7, that was the same base as I went on the Vostok and the Voskhod, and the I forget what the name of the larger program was for Mars and Venus exploration, but yeah, that was an ICBM that was designed to blow up the U.S. Then you had the Atlas V, or the Atlas, yeah, the Atlas V is derived. The Atlas V is derived from the Atlas D, which was an intercontinental ballistic missile. Contract complete. And vehicle recovery, not bad. But the yeah, the Atlas II, which was the base of the now Atlas V, that was an ICBM as well. Went to point at Russia. And then, yeah, even the Peacekeeper, the more modern intercontinental ballistic missile, is the base of the, I want to say the Minotaur, I could be wrong, for orbital ATK. Alright, so that got us some science as well. Alright. Ooh, they want us to adjust the Xperi 1. We need you to move it into a nearby orbit. Okay. Let's go ahead and take that. And check it out in the tracking station. Now we're having a good funds day, that's for sure. So Xperi, way out here. Looks like it's losing charge here. I might have to reposition it slightly for the solar panels. No, it's doing good on electric charge. I don't know why it's being funky like that. So we want to look at its modified orbit. Okay. So it's an inclination change. No idea why we have a maneuver here to make it exit. That's interesting. Don't remember doing that. Just do a quick adjustment here. Descending node. Now we'd have to also do some retrograde to put it back in alignment. So, right there. Looks good. That's in 2 days. So on day 39, we'll come back to that and we'll do our adjusted orbit for the Xperi satellite. Just gonna make sure it has plenty of solar energy when we go into it. Very good. We'll get an adjusted orbit for that. Oh no, I'm late. It's all good. That's why we have YouTube. Now, I did get the, you did miss the Colina satellite finally going up, and I will say it was not a pretty launch, so I'm maybe thankful you missed that. And in 2 days' time, we'll be ready to maneuver the Xperi satellite into a modified orbit. And let's see what else we can do over in the Space Center. You mean that was an awesome explosion? No explosions, thank God. It was another bad launch angle. It was corrected, though. Explosions are fun. I would have been upset for you if you missed explosions. I did say I am going to turn down this Tom Fred, but for 74,370 credits and 17 reputation, the advance even more than pays for getting them. Now, the thing with this is I have a full crew. I have 12 out of 12 crewmen, so I don't know. I won't get to keep them. Have a heart. Well, we are an Uber service. I will take it. Just because I don't see much else that I really have a big plan for here. Now the temperature survey is a Mun, though. So that might be one other thing I need to go and do. But I'm going to try this first. Hang on. Just words of encouragement. Words of encouragement to a friend. Imagine he's Leica. Oh, that hurts. That actually hurts. Poor Leica. Alright. Let's go ahead. Let's get a orbiter. And that looks good to go. Verify staging. Now, yes, I do catch your drift, definitely. At least it's not as bad as Seymour, Fry's dog. Damn it, Jeb. Jeb, it's stowing away. I caught it on the ground this time. I don't know if you've ever watched Futurama then. If so, it might click. Jurassic Bark. Alright, now. Try that again. If you haven't seen it, you could always YouTube for Jurassic Bark ending, and that's bad enough. That's all you need. Let's see. Let's get rid of relays. Go back to ships. Let's see where he is. Tom Fred. Yep, he is in low orbit. Very easy orbit. So I don't understand why we're getting so much money and prestige for this one. Must be because we have a full crew that it's trying to compensate for us not getting a freebie. So this time I think I'm just going to go on a slightly higher than his orbit, because he seems to be on a very tight orbit. Yeah, he's on a very tight orbit. He could be the son of a noble Kerbal. That's very true. Let's see. So at least I know what the orbit looks like. I can get going on this one. Jeb, dude. Please stop it, Jeb. I don't get why he's stowing away. We've used this same orbiter so many times. And he's never in it. Jeb, I'm not impressed, buddy. No. Try launching when he's almost above you. Yes, that's true. I think I need to actually get a little ahead of him, because it's going to be easier for him to catch up to me than the other way around. So I just need to set him as my target so I know actually where he is and what's going on here. Oh yeah, I've got a little bit of a wait here. I said day 39 for this guy, right? Yep, day 39. Hola, bestie. So good of you to join us. Just in time for yet another, dude, I call you bro, space Uber service. So like I said, I'm gonna get a little bit of a jump start on him. He has a super low orbit. Yeah. Yeah, like a quarter orbit jump start, since I'm gonna have to go into a higher than his orbit. As Stewie would say, ribbit. That's fine, bestie. We are glad to have you in chat. Drop those suckers. Start our turn. Down a little bit so I can make this turn, because it's just a little too stable. Come on. Get our vector better aligned to us. Good, then we can zoom out and see what we're actually doing. For an 80K apogee. Maybe a little higher, actually, because yeah, there we go. I need him to be able to catch up to us a little bit. 89 should do just fine. plan out the maneuver to get us into a circular orbit. Okay. Perfect. In order to achieve our orbit, we will have to ditch the stage. So everything's going exactly as expected. And time will be 37 seconds. Yeah, quarter orbit head start was definitely a bit too much. That's fine. I should have the delta V to raise my orbit a little bit and let him catch up. So let's see, 15, 3. So yeah, 18 seconds from burn start. Probably 20 seconds from burn start because I got to do a staging. That should take me 2 seconds total. Go. Getting ready to stage. Staging went perfectly. Okay. Good. It's actually a very circular orbit that we managed to pull off. Now he should actually catch up to us fairly quick. I could do a quick maneuver. At perigee. Just raise us a little bit more. So we bleed off just a little more speed. Never, I'll take a 3-second burn. Okay. Now we should catch up just a little faster. This is a more time-consuming way to do this for sure, but easier in terms of delta V. Yeah, yep, that gets us a lot closer. So I'll let it go around one more orbit, and then at apogee, I will make a correction burn to put us as close as possible to him. And then all we need to do is match speed. Yep, okay, so that already gets us fairly close. We just need to go opposite of it. Or actually, no we don't. We should actually do that burn there. So I missed my opportunity, in other words. That's fine. We can make this work somewhere else in the orbit. Case in point. .4. Just gotta be wary about how much time I've got left before we get here. 12.5. Yep, 12.5 looks like the ideal right now because all the separation is this away. So then at our next nodes, we'll go ahead and plan the rest of this. It's not descending node, we need to ever so slightly adjust. Okay, so that'll be maneuver number 2. Coming up quickly on our maneuver now. We'll kill this maneuver on the far side. Oh, don't want that. Maneuver node, please. I'd like to play... Yes, I'd like to play some maneuver node. Alright, let's just drop out of this real quick. What's our thrust limiter at? Our thrust limiter is at like nothing, so this is a very small burn apparently. This is surprisingly effective. Yes. Sometimes I just happen into some good stuff here. I'd like to say it's skill, but it's not. Okay. So that did what we wanted. Next burns in 4 minutes. And now that has actually shifted somewhat. So that was not as accurate as I'd hoped for. Still 12.6, fairly close to 12.5. So I'm just going to not complain. Redo this maneuver. Ever so slightly less. There we go. That'll put our ascending node right there. And right there. We can actually descending node right on our target here, and boom. Definitely have a 0 degree. So that one's good. Nope. Click away, please. Yep. Thank you. Thank you for the node. I get it. I get it now. Can we please move on? Oh, this is being weird. There you go. Okay. Now we want a new node right here. And we just want to... No, we want better than 9.8, so let's do this. Do a little bit of that. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. 1.6 is pretty good. I had 1.6 there for a second. 1.1. Yeah, I'll stick to 1.1. Now, 16-second burn won't do, so we're gonna up the thrust limiter. 5 seconds? Nope. 3 seconds? Nope. I want 4 seconds. Here we go. Cool. It's a 4-second burn, so we'll wait till 2 seconds before burn. Should be close enough. Make some tiny tweaks to this. .9 looks really good. I like .9 for an intersect. And which way is the sun right now? Can I zoom out that far? I sure can't. The sun is that way. Get ready with that fateful solar panel. There is an alternator level like from this. We do get a little bit of energy from this engine when it's on. Screw it, I'll aim at target. And we'll fast forward the 6 minutes to orbit. Once I see the sun, I'm pointing our solar panel, though. Also, this is an 8-second burn, so I'm going to double our thrust limiter and make it a 4-second burn. Or half our limiter, I guess you'd say, because it's a limiter. Of course, sunrise right as we start to get to our maneuver. Well, at least I have enough electric charge to get us through it. So, 2 seconds to burn. A little bit of correction. Now this is when the correction really matters. Now we can flip the solar panel. There you go. Recharge. So our real intersect is 1.1 again. Okay. Not bad. Not terrible. So I'll put a node on our closest intersect, so I know where it's at roughly. $15 minutes. Ooh. Sensitive mouse. Alright. So we've just about recharged our battery as well. Don't want any more dead Ubers out there. Dead space Ubers. Now, I guess, once I'm done all these streams and I put them onto YouTube, does that make me a space Uber YouTuber? And if I'm good at it, does that make me an Uber space Uber YouTuber? Heading right for those important questions, you know? Don't know these. Oh no, I mean these streams I'm posting on YouTube as soon as I finish each one. I probably will just stream till I die. So, you know, a couple weeks, you know. However the alcohol decides to take effect, I'll let it run its course. I'm actually very happy about how easy it is to port these streams over to YouTube now. It's a direct export option. Maybe it was there before and I'm just stupid. I'm not ruling that out. But I seem to remember back in the day that being a pain, and that's why our original 2 seasons plus Bro Lab Space Station all didn't make it really complete onto YouTube. Bro Lab made it most of the way. But that's because I stepped away from streams to do those recordings instead. We do hard careers. I'm fairly close to it already. At least in terms of stock settings and no mods. I went and turned everything I could think of except I need to change the ground stations. And then obviously there's the dollar and science values. Ultra hard career, no time warps. That's not a game mode at that point. That's just a type of torture. So we're just gonna follow our target here. Well, I want retrograde to target, not target. I'm jumping the gun. I'm moving on to something I'm not ready for yet. So, there we go. Cancel our movement to target. Whoop. Don't go in the other direction. I was supposed to cut fuel and instead I increased it. Okay, well that's good enough. Right there, we're pretty well in tune. Bestie said F4. There we go. Thanks, Bestie. 5 in real life years to Duna. That would be crazy. Definitely immersive, like you said, though. Thrust limiter all the way up for our braking maneuver. A little victory roll. Use our batteries on our on our reaction wheels here. Did somebody call an Uber? Why not spacewalk? Well, that's true. I could have them just spacewalk the rest of the way. I just enjoy this so much. Exactly. Beep beep. Just gloating at how close I'm maneuvering this. Aw. I was doing so good up till that, and on just getting as close as possible. Just want to do some bragging. I've come so far since the original days of Bro Lab when I decided to smash two pieces of space station together at high velocity. Alright, Tom Fred. Whoop. Perfect. Where are we? Okay, we got a little while till our descent burn. Just fast forward all that. We got you, Tommy. I like it. That'll be 10,000. There's just a matter of the bill. You see, we did just make an entire rocket assembly and launch it to space to pick your drunk ass up. So if you could please just fork over all the Kerbal monies, that would be fantastic. Now this time, as we get just a little closer, I'm going to set this maneuver, and I'm going to aim it even closer to the Space Center. Use all the last of our fuel. Let's see how much we can get away with and still have fuel. Be right here. And we want that right there. Let's just aim dead on and see what happens. Right? Maybe? Little pass into the water? That should do. Your old capsule's drifting away there, bud. Burn time 21 seconds. So at 10 seconds, we're gonna start our burn. It's hard to see the actual pointer there. There we are. And that perfectly ran us out of fuel. Awesome. Just kill the node. Now let's see. If we aim directly at the Kerbal Space Center, where do we end up? I'm gonna wait till we start to get some atmospheric resistance before I ditch this. Well, no, I'll just give myself the extra little boost and eject ourselves this away. Prograde. Eject. And then flip around for the re-entry burn. It should be more of a change than any momentum difference would give us. Let's actually angle this up a little bit. See if we can get some flight characteristics to actually show up on these capsules. It is a thing in real life. You do get actual flight characteristics from capsules like this. They're not just falling through the atmosphere ballistic style. You actually have them raising up through the air and flying. So when pilots came, yeah, it is actually aerodynamic lift. So dead on. So when astronauts were actually coming back, say in Gemini, they were able to steer their descent. Same with Mercury. Oh, they don't hit the mountains. That'd be bad. Killing Tomford could always be seen as a bad thing. Skip us a little bit off the atmosphere as much as I can anyway. Good, we're slowing down. Yeah, we're falling way short. Our little booster's doing fine. Our booster's gonna hit the KSC. That would be bad. Yeah, we're falling in the mountains. Last time we overshot so far, though. I feel like there's something I'm missing. Well, anyway, drogue shoot. Alright, we rescued you from space and we dropped you on the top of a mountain. Have fun hiking down. It's true, maybe you can get some glorious mountain dirt. Looks like it might be Highlands dirt, though. Just a little bit of time warping. Looks like he's gonna land on like a really heavy slope here. Hopefully it doesn't go rolling down. That'd be bad. Alright. Take the EVA report, which I didn't have for some reason. Take that. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Let go. I want to know if these guys have the parachute option enabled in career mode. Those look like they do. Well, we did get some science from it. Trying to get EVA while flying. Yep. It worked. It says we got a crew member recovered. Does that mean that we're beyond our... They let us keep him. We've got 13 out of 12. Well, so much for my theory about that being the end of the, I feel like it's a glitch, kind of. I thought that would be the end of the rescue missions, having a full roster. Landed at Minmus. Another rescue. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, they're never going to stop. 103,000 credits. They just want to make this so tempting for me, don't they? Another child of noble Kerbals, indeed. I do get more for this, though. Below 83 meters. I might put some relays in moon orbit. I already have a bunch of other temperature surveys and such. Now let's take this one. Temperature surveys of the Mun. Okay. We don't want the Colonial set style. Or do we? Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's do this style. Same as the Colnia set. And we'll do a Mun sat launcher. Don't we already have satellites around the Mun? Actually, I don't. I don't have any yet. I've been putting that off. I did, however, send a probe out towards Duna. I'm not sure how that sucker's doing. Should probably check on that pretty soon. Actually, I'm questioning if I end up having enough fuel to actually make that maneuver. See, that all looks good. That separates. This part is wrong. Because it should go that, then the engine, then the fairing. Alright, screw launch windows. Let's just go for it. So we're going to head straight for orbit. Oops. Just paying attention to my nav ball. Rookie mistake. Boosters go off themselves. Alright. We now aggressively tip over. Oh, we do our style points. Gotta get our style points. I love it. This is a structured part of this launch. This is a structured part of this launch vehicle, is the unpowered somersault into position for igniting the third stage. Here at Dude I Called You Bro Space Program, Olympic rocket somersaults. Now, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this. Normally, I would drive a high apogee with this stage and not stress about getting in orbit yet because of space junk. But if I can manage an entirety of the way into orbit, which it seems I can, then I'm going to also use this for the trans-mooner burn. Gold medal. I agree, that one was particularly good. I should write Elon Musk and tell him that that's the only way for the Falcon 9 to improve itself. Mr. Musk, I can't help but notice you land your rockets back on Earth. That's good and all, but do they somersault? Do they somersault? Actually, they kind of do for their return burn, but, you know, it's a half somersault. It's not a full somersault. We're taking the credit for that. I'm hoping this still leaves us enough fuel to try and do a trans-lunar injection here. I don't think it does, to be honest. Or trans-mooner injection. I really don't think it does. I don't think it actually will be enough. I might need to step up the capabilities of this launcher. At least have some fuel, it looks like. Stop just a little short. I don't need a high para apps. 70 is exactly where we should stop. Alright, cool. So we'll have a little bit of fuel for trans-lunar injection. Trans-mooner injection. Now, where is the moon right now? See, minimus. Oh, there's the moon. I'm just blind. So, we want... Let's see if I remember how this works. Then I'll drag my point around here. Point is, I think that's... Yeah, we're going to have to stage partway through that. So we are going to leave space junk, unfortunately, it looks like. Unless I can transfer some fuel over. That might be a thing. That might be a thing I can do. So, boom, we want to look for that encounter. So we'll have a slightly disturbed orbit. What I want to have happen is just enough that it kicks us out. And slingshots the debris. Which it doesn't seem to want to do at all. So I don't want to just like have this come back in a... Well, it does act like it would get like slung out this way, right? Is that right? I'm having trouble even reading this series of nodes. I want a Mooner gravity assist. See what it looks like. Oh, jeez. This would have to go through multiple Mooner encounters. Where's the Mun? We're missing the entire Mun. Why not terminate the debris? I could. I just don't. I don't like to. I feel like it destroys the immersion for me a little bit. This is some bizarre shit I'm doing over here. Okay, let's just make it a simple burn then. Let's just stop worrying about it so much. See if I can do some adjusting after the fact. So I want as minimum a burn as possible. And still getting an encounter. Which looks like this would be it. So we'd come out here. We'd get into an moon encounter. We'd moon escape here. And then it would kick us out into a very highly elliptical orbit. And that looks like pretty solid. So what I'm going to do... Even though this is not our most efficient engine... So immersive braking about Kerbals putting radio detonated nitroglycerin on all their space parts. I guess that part's true. Alright, so we got 14 minutes till this burn. And I might regret bothering to still use this first stage. Not first stage, but second, third, whatever it is, stage. Technically 2.5. 2.5 because of the solids. So this stage 2.5 for our entire injection might be a bad idea. I might just burn through a ton of fuel. Do you need an upgrade to warp to next maneuver? No, I could have been doing that like a smart person this whole time. Yep. I don't have an answer for that one. Oh, I see. Let's see. So now 8 seconds from this burn. We'll start. This engine is much less efficient than the Terrier above it. Sure we actually have the encounter we want. Yes, we do. We do have an encounter. A very high orbit. Para-apps will be at 2 million, so definitely want to put as much fuel as we can back into the Terrier engine here. Okay. Then left here, a little bit left there. Okay. That's everything. Cleared out all that. This thing will peel away from Kerbin. It was in 4 hours. How far are we from our maneuver with the Xperisat? We are a long way away from our maneuver. Our maneuver's here on the Xperisat, and it's still here. So it's still following a very long wait here. So let's go ahead, let's time warp. There's our debris tagging along with us. Some Orbiter 3 debris. Look at all the debris everywhere. It's quite glorious. Where the heck is that debris going? Orbiter 3.4 debris. That's doing some weirdness. So much space junk. And then if we start enabling things like our relay network. Probe way out there. Let's put CommsNet on. Totally clear what's happening. Everybody, this is what's going on right now in Do Like Algebra Bro space program. You know, just if you want to see it all, there it is, right there. Totally clear for everyone to see. Like our one probe way out there. Yeah, our Duna traveler is still a long ways from actually escaping. Sunset looks like it's almost there. We do have a sun satellite contract. Hoping that is the fuel to pull it off. Where's our Xperi? Oh yeah, Xperi's still a long way from that node. So we need to reposition Xperi as part of a contract we took. I think we've been very tidy about our Kerbal space, huh? Wow, Xperi has got to be getting close to its maneuver. Not even close. I keep thinking it's like there. It's freaking me out, man. Oh, I forgot this debris has like a tiny little antenna on it, doesn't it? So sad. Okay. Heading for a perigee. Uh-oh. Huh. Why did it, Did I overwhelm it with stuff? It, like, hid our mission objective for the, Xperi. Yeah, I didn't honestly plan the Duna one that well, so, yeah, I don't fully, yeah, it's not gonna go very well. Mostly that was just a blind shot. But yeah, definitely I'm more worried about the Xperi repositioning here. It's got 4 game hours before that. Munsat, though. It's going to be at its pair apps way before that. It's going to be at its pair apps in 21 minutes. Yeah, that's one thing I never figured out, by the way, is how to actually properly time your launch windows for Duna and Eve so they're not crazy inefficient. Because last time what I did is I just basically took the equivalent of a double Saturn V. Just said, oh well, we'll make it happen. And I've only ever sent one probe to each in my my 4 years of Kerbal. My mostly 4 years of hiatus. Yeah, I know. I like the idea of the Kerbal alarm clock mod, but I just really like the challenge of sticking the stock. Okay, now we slow ourselves way down. For that, we need to actually activate our engines. Thank you. Okay, so while we still have this very high orbit, this is where I want to do my inclination change because my speed is going to be very high. So at the para-apse, where our speed is highest, that is where I want to do my polar inclination change. Woo, okay. Just like that. And we actually have enough delta V on this craft to do that madness. Just showing the seeds of temptation. Nice. So that, I think, is what I want right there. That's only a 6-second burn. That's beautiful. I like that. That makes me all kinds of happy on the inside. So we are 1 day, 5 hours from that burn. Now the Xperi is 4. Inclination changes are best at high orbits. Yes. So the faster you're going, this is what I read in It's Only Rocket Science, which I love having that book. The faster you're going, the less delta V it takes to make an inclination change. So the higher the orbit, the faster your craft's going to go to actually maintain its orbit. Subsequently, on your orbit, though, the lowest point of your orbit is where you're going the fastest, your perigee. So you want to be on a high orbit, but at the lowest point of it, going your maximum speed, in other words. So at maximum speed, that's when you make your inclination change. Unless you're trying to make a specific alignment, like when we're doing rendezvous missions, then you want to do it at, what do you call it? My brain's not working. At ascending, descending nodes. Thank you. My brain's dying. High orbits have slow speeds. True. The overall orbit is slower. However, you get your fastest speed at a para-apse of a high orbit, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of the way to say that without it being confusing. But we all know I can't brain sometimes when it comes to the English language. So I gotta look into that too, because I was actually thinking then, theoretically following their logic, a highly eccentric orbit, like the Colnea orbit, where you go very high orbit to very low orbit, where you have very high speeds, would be a very good place to do an inclination change. Or I just read it totally wrong. I don't know. I always throw that option in there that I'm just wrong. Because, you know, I accept it as a possibility. So only 3 hours from Xperi's adjustment, as opposed to the 1 day, 4 hours for the Munsat. Earth would move faster than Pluto at their perspective para-apses. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking what they really mean in that must be a like a highly eccentric orbit where you get a very high speed. Could be what they're going on about. I'm trying to think about the way it was phrased. Mind you, I was reading this after an entire jar of Shine Nog, so... It's the one reason I can never be an astronaut, is no one would ever give me alcohol in space. But now I have a mission. Now I will make sure I read that again, that whole section again, while I'm not totally completely inside a jar of moonshine. So I can report it back on the stream what it really is. For science. So coming up on the Experience inclination change. Plenty of electric charge, thank God. That's now something I, as a paranoid check, just always go for the electric charge. I think this is a good satellite overall, though, this design for early game. You haven't unlocked all the small parts. Seems to be a very good chassis so far. Oh yeah, that's right. I can do warp to maneuver. That's something I forget is there always. I always forget that is there. I don't like it though. It's like I feel like as soon as I'm there, suddenly I have to rush to get everything done. And I know I can just aim it first and then do the warp to maneuver, but oh well. I don't pretend to always make sense. So 9-second burn. Can I thrust limiter this a little different? 4-second burn, my favorite. Okay, there we go. Easy to center. When I finally do unlock the sparks and I feel compelled to use the sparks for satellites, I'm going to miss the Terriers, and I know it. Because I like these powerful burns when I need them. Bingo! There we go. We've adjusted our Xperia 1. Now, before we go and, see, there it is, right there, that thing. So, before we go back to Munsat and start, finishing up its maneuver. So, before we actually go and fast forward to this maneuver and do it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Space Center and just check the contracts again. I've been told, because contracts are constantly showing up, sometimes you'll run into something that's totally doable in the middle of a mission. So, it's happened a few times so far. Let's take our Munsat debris back. Munsat debris, does that mean that some of the booster parts lived through that? Because that was a lot of pieces. That was more than just the launch towers, I think. Huh. It's kind of bizarre. This is a case of calling it. Position satellite in a specific order of the Mun. Orbit. Order. That was weird. Specific orbit. So, and it needs a mystery goo canister, which we have. Needs a thermometer, which we have. Oh, it has to be built for the mission. So it has to be built after the contract is accepted. So at least it makes me feel a little bit better. However, we did just see that we can pull off the satellite with a fairly cheap launcher. 151,000 credits. We just used a roughly 20,000 credit launcher to get a satellite out there. And we already have a design, so... As you say, easy money. Let's take it. I feel really nervous about doing these VIP ones. Mostly because I feel like it's all jet travel. Science data from space around Kerbin. I should have taken that first. Because I could just make any probe pick this one up. What do we have active? Is there anything? Well, I'm about to do science for Mun, so I can clear up a contract right now. Surface of Mun. Space around Mun. There we go. Xperi does have instruments. Has a few, I think. Wait. No, I could be wrong. I think Xperi might just be antennas. But Moonsat. My good friend the Moonsat. We're gonna switch over to this real quick. Oh, easy money. I didn't even catch that. It's a Mun Pun. It's a Monday Mun Pun. Alright, so all we need to do from space around Kerbin, or from the moon. Thermometer. Log temperature. Send it back. Oh, and I didn't put a barometer on that. That's a shame. Ah, Monday. See, we're knocking it out of the park today. It's a home Mun. Alright. I was stretching it with that one. I just ruined it. Alright, now I can take a contract. Science data around Kerbin. Easy money. Another temperature surveys of the Mun. Yep, so we need to do this one real quick and come back for that. Because all these temperature surveys I can just get into an orbit, a polar orbit, and just slowly shrink it down and get as much of those temperature readings as possible. So what do we want to pick for picking up our science? Let's go to Keosat. Keosat 1. I haven't flown Keosat in a while. Pretty sure Keosat has some science on it. Yep, thermometer. Boom. Another contract complete. Too easy. $102 science. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can go and unlock one of our necessary moon excursion. This one, I think. Although this would let us do better satellites in the meantime. But anyway, I'm going to go straight for this. RCS, 2-man pod, 3-man pod, lander can, inline stabilizer, all that fun. We're getting that right now. Fun in the mun. Alright. Now. Back to temperature surveys. Catbury. Catbury, really? So, temperature surveys. Let's do it. Now we'll go back to flying our moonsat. Oh, look how perfect this orbit would have been if I just had that mission going into this. Look at that. That's okay. It just helps us build our communication network to have multiple satellites. Because one of the things we could run into easily as we fly around the far side of Mun is we could break radio contact very easily. Time warp just a few hours here. I don't want to go all the way there. I'm going to let it get about halfway there. And then I'm going to check one more time the Space Center. Just to make sure I'm not missing any interesting contracts or the like. We should aim for a triad of satellites around every celestial body and never lose connection. That's actually something I want to shoot for. It's very wise. Well, triangle, yeah. We must get 4 and just make a perfect pyramid at all times. Pyramids are fun. So yeah, nothing new for contracts. That's good. So I'm not missing anything major. We'll time warp the rest of the way to Munsat's maneuver. This time, do the intelligent thing. We'll warp just a little closer. Good. Now we're 10 minutes from our burn. We can set ourselves up. Where are we getting our radio contact from? Okay, cool. So we actually have a direct line of sight to Kerbin right now. Good. Now, I find it very funny that we're sending a satellite to go take temperature readings all around the moon. Like, our biggest contract consistency here is temperature survey, temperature survey, temperature survey. Science data. Satellite in orbit. Like all these. Explore the moon. Turn a curve from the orbit of the moon. Yeah, like all these temperature data, right? They're all going to read the same because it's vacuum. There's no atmosphere. That's okay. So these are above, these are above, these are below. 9,000. So what we'll do is the above missions first. And the highest above mission is 11,800. So if I get to orbit of 12,000, I can get all those. And then we can get below an orbit of 8,300, so like an orbit of 8,000. And then we can get all the below. True, yes. A little bit of a spoiler, but the Kerbals don't know that, though. The Kerbals are not that privy to the workings of space. They just know they like to go there. Yes, I did see one of those. One of those is a mix bag. So one of those is just all below, one of those is just all above, and then one is an above, a below, and above and a below. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, that one's messed up. So it should be an interesting challenge at least. So we want to get 3 seconds away from burn. Kill more ants. See, I left Moonshine just one day. I had the ants gone. And in Florida, that's a challenge. But I left Moonshine out one day. One day. And the ants are everywhere. Okay, doing our burn. It's reading green, so it should be good enough. It's accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish. Now, I know what kind of orbit we need to have, so we're going to try and shrink this. I don't know if we'll have enough delta V to actually shrink this as far as we want. Doesn't seem like it's going to take a lot to do what we want to do. So we're going to want 12,000 meters. Or somewhere close in there. Oh, that's 10. Might settle for the 15 if I can get back to 15. Yeah, let's take 15. Because then if I'm off by a little bit, it's not the end of the world. Or the end of the month. For a nice tight polar orbit here. Like I said, none of those show that they want it to be above 12,000. So as long as we're like 15,000, somewhere in that range, I think we should be fine. Take all the above readings. Then we can tighten it up further. Hopefully. And get the below readings. The usual 4-second burn is what I go for. So 2 seconds to burn. want to get this exactly right, because it seems like it's very easy to be off by a bit. That give us... Yeah, that looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? All right, let's see. Are we gonna have enough delta V to do complete circularization? It's a lot. A lot of delta V. It's acting like we do, though. I don't want to lose our para apps any further, though. Make sure our perigee stays above 12,000 throughout this maneuver. Right there. Just a little bit more wiggle room in case we goofer it. Why the number 4? Why the number 4? My brain just died. Oh, in terms of the second maneuver. I just find that to be... I want it to be a tight amount of space that we do our burn, so we're not wasting energy on correction. But a 2-second burn means I have to get it exactly right between a 2-second window of a burn. I find 4 is a little easier, just because at the end of it you can kind of just cut the engine down without totally cutting it off at exactly the right moment, and then you're not, you know, playing recovery mode as much. Probably a 3-second burn would make more sense, and then drag it out to 4, but I don't think that way for some reason. Boom, there we go, back to a 4-second burn time again. Speaking of. Alright, so now another 4 hours before that next burn. Space Center. See what else is going on. Huh. Ooh, I wish I could do this right now. Stack separator, splashdown at Kerbin. Splashdown at Kerbin's pretty darn easy. That's like a gimme. Not a lot of money though. Not a lot of money. Well, wait a second. Are there any of the active ones I can close out right now? Oh, our sunset. We gotta check on the sunset. True, I could upgrade the building. I've got a lot of funds. I should be comfortable doing that, actually. Almost up to 2 million funds. What is that, a 50% reputation? First, I want to check on the sunset. Because it does say... Oh, that's the sunset 1. That's not what I want. This guy. I need to rename it. I have 2 sunset 1s. I'm not the brightest bulb on the porch, so let's see. This is the new sunset. Sunset 2. Still plenty of electric charge. It's got our Gen 2 satellite body, chassis, and AJ-10 for its adjustment in orbit. It is not quite yet onto independent orbit. It looks like it's very close to its exit. Is it not? Like, how far is it from being on an independent orbit? It looks like it's almost there right now. Oh, I'm dumb. It already is. I was tracking the the comms range as if it was a oh, Steve, you're having a moment. All right, somehow we got to get into this crazy. Okay. Sure. Sure. We can do this. It's actually not using that much delta V, is it? It's pretty darn close. Maneuver in 113 days. I love this game so much. That's alright. Technically, we're on day 9 and we've already gone through 40 Kerbin days. So we'll just, I'll make a post-it note at some point after the stream. And when I see that we're nearing that time. Indeed. Definitely, alarm clock does make that much more sane. But then again, if I did think sane, it wouldn't be Dude, I Called You Bro. And it does look like this is all doable completely with this, this transfer stage. So, we'll be able to use the satellite probably to level out the orbit, and I think this will be a successful satellite. As long as we stay in comms range. Which, you know, I've loaded this thing with comms, so hopefully that's doable. That's pretty close. And then we have just a very slight inclination change to fix. Which, if I want to do this with any kind of attempt at sanity, would have to be at this ascending node. Okay. So we've got everything mapped out. We know what we want to do with this. Oh, yes, that's true. I keep not right-clicking on the nodes. Would be much easier. Now, this was supposed to be a test platform, this this Sunsat, for me to go and basically plan out the Duna and the Eve launches. But then I just went ahead and did the Duna launch anyway. Not knowing if I was going on an intelligent window or not. And by that I mean not going on an intelligent window. And it looks like it's still quite a ways away from exit here. I did take it on a different exit path. But I don't think Now, what's amazing me is this is actually getting the solar charge it needs. Like, granted, I do have these little solar panels at the front, but I was relying on solar panels that are currently buried by shroud. For some reason, the shroud stayed on. I don't know why. So you've got the solar panels. I like that I can actually do this zoom in. This is actually kind of cool. You got the antennas are sticking up through the shroud now, but you got the solar panels under here as well. Now I wonder. Wonder. Can I just check and see if they're actually getting power? This might be a graphical glitch of some kind. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna let me select anything. I don't know, but it seems to be getting, yeah, Batman batteries. I do like that. I'm sorry, if there was a company called Batman batteries, I'd be buying those instead of whatever the heck it is I buy normally. But again, another AJ10. This one, I'm not sure about this. I don't know if this is really going to be able to make it to doing it at all in the launch window we have. I think it was just a waste of a launch, possibly. Looks like a telescope. It kind of does. Really, the big thing is going to be at the front here. This is actually going to be a lander. So it's going to have heat shield for re-entry. Probe to control it. We've got a deorbit module, so we can leave this in space as a relay, so we can actually communicate back to Kerbin. So this doesn't have to carry all those antennas. It's got a parachute system, a drogue system. It's got a couple different goo canisters, the barometer, the thermometer, which, by the way, pretty sure I did temperature scan already, but did I do barometer scan? Yes, I did. Okay. So yeah, that'll be our lander, hopefully, and hopefully things just don't go absolutely horrible with that. Things are probably gonna go horrible with it. To be fair, it took NASA and the Russian Space Agency many tries to get something actually landed on Mars. But I think that might be where I call the stream tonight. Just observing this abomination, this beautiful abomination. And we nailed a lot of contracts today. When we come back, though, we'll be going through and hitting all these temperature scans. And that should be really good for a lot of reasons. I think funds and science. I will check that out real quick just to see what we're getting ourselves into. And if we can get, I think, 1 or 2 more categories unlocked in the research development, I think we're going to be in position to do a moon landing properly the way I wanted to do it. So let's see, our temperature surveys. Yeah, like this first one, you get each of these, I'm pretty sure. So we'll get 16 science, 26 reputation stars. I don't know how that works exactly. And we'll get ourselves almost 200, a little over 250,000 credits. The next one will be almost the same. So lots of science there as well. And this one's not as good, but still. Still another 17 reputation stars, another 9 science. And it looks like another 150,000 credits. So yeah, definitely this is going to be some good funds. This position satellite in specific orbit over the sun, though, this is going to take forever. We will be able to do this one though. Basically, I just need to relaunch the satellite we already launched. You do have to send a Kerbal to Moon or orbit sometime soon. Now I guess I could drop this and regain it again, but I don't want to wait for it to come back into the menu again. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for the stream tonight. Again, if you miss any episodes, feel free to watch those on YouTube. They're actually just about a day after we run them here, so there's no real lag time there. You can pick them up right after the next day. It has other content as well for Dude I Called You Bro. As awful as it may be, it's still fun to watch. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good night.